Hello there, everybody, and welcome to another round of the Azure Dreams Riders of the Sky tournament. I will be getting our runners counted down for another round of exciting Azure Dreams Second Tower Racing. You might be wondering, what is this game? What is the Second Tower? You might be wondering, even if you know this game, what the Second Tower is. And that is an interesting question. It is a secret sort of alternate gameplay mode hidden away in the game's code, dummied out at some point. Using the de-randomizing randomizer, we have gained access to the mysterious second tower of a theoretically infinite but practically 99 floor differently randomized tower of differently randomized mystery roguelike dungeon gameplay. And we will be off at that in just a moment. Our runners will have 2 hours of free entry because the regular tower is cruel. The second tower is more cruel than that, actually. And it can turn brutal in a second. What monsters are available, what monsters are present to be fought, will be completely random. Or at least completely random, refreshing every couple of turns. They will be off once the stream delay is caught up, while I explain. After the 2-hour mark, they will have 1 hour left for their final climb. No re-entries. When they're done, they're done. The match is determined by who gets the furthest, the fastest across any particular climb. The towers will be fixed such that they have the same tower for the same entry, but that's not the same as having a clear sense of what is about to happen. The second tower can do all sorts of stuff. And it has items which are obscured from the player's knowledge. They will have to find out what they are by eating them or using them. If they can't eat them, please do not eat scrolls. They're not good for you. We also have made a couple of changes using the de-randomizing randomizer. The first of which is we have this nice little fast tutorial floor, so we don't have to listen to how the tower works. Because at least some of it won't be how the tower works at all. And we also have this fun little slot machine monster, the Barong. You chucks things in, it tosses things out. Those things can be very different from the things you normally would expect. The theoretical rarity checks don't work, and they include things that you'll otherwise only find in the second tower, which means you won't find them in regular gameplay. But it can also just be normal stuff. Not the crystal HexTree would have wanted, I think. And it looks like Poulet didn't go for much more than getting a truth glass, which is especially useful in this context. Okay, Hex. This is a weird chance to do some Oh, he's playing some more! HexTree, not satisfied by that fire crystal, he wants more slots. Poulet is going for the gauche fight, that's the other thing we have enabled for this first time. This is to get an additional medicinal herb and maybe a wind crystal. The second tower does not like wind crystals, does not want you to have them, it hates them. Just because the game wasn't mean enough, and Poulet is getting that wind crystal. That is gonna be a pretty big boon because it means he can leave with whatever loot he finds whenever he wants to, unless something terrible happens first. HexTree getting a Scarlet Wand, that feels pretty good. That is more or less your ideal weapon in this scenario. It gives you a wand bonus, which is double your attack with mixture magic, which is what they're mostly going to be using, if at all possible. And it gives you the same element attack bonus Pokemon, while Pokemon was Pokemon. I'd say before, but I don't think the dates line up in that regard. Either way, it's still a pretty hefty damage bonus and an essential one. HexTree did also get the Wind Crystal. Since he took different actions, the RNG on the Wind Crystal is a little bit different. Poulet getting a Stream Wand, and oh no, a Newell. That's actually pretty bad to have on this third floor, first floor of randomized towers, because the Newells heal. They heal a lot. They're not the most formidable monster in this form or at this point, but also they can just get you in a heal loop because the Newells outpace you so much. It's gonna be a difficult battle. And there goes Q. That puts Poulet in a really bad spot. Looks like Poulet is Wind Crystalling out, does not want to lose that loot early on, if possible. Very understandable. But it does mean he's going to have to lose some of it, at the very least. You can only enter with 5 items. Yeah, this all about checks out. As the decision's made, keeping the Palimpa Egg, the Truth Glasses, because things will re-randomize. And the names will be reconcealed, and that gives him at least one thing he can learn what it is by not shoving it into his face. I'd probably pick a scroll or something for that. But who knows, might be an egg that would be useful. Huh. A dead-end room. Either way, HexTree will remain on this seed of the tower and this randomizer, and we'll still have to deal with these Newells, but the Scarlet Wand means outpacing them becomes possible. That is the power of those extra few Barong slots really making the difference here. There's still that same Stream Wand, which if HexTree ever wants to change Cune to water, and that's not a bad decision in terms of what's scary with the elemental triangle, it's worth considering. Either way, Poulet did not get the chance to really gain a whole lot of levels onto Cune, and that's one of your key markers of, like, how you gain power in this game. The whole game is designed around the theoretical loop. Oh, that's rough. Of Lars seed, the worst seed, the seed you don't really want. And there is another Wind Crystal that will help either of the runners if HexTree decides to re-enter, because that will be there in the second entry, regardless of whose second entry it is. But Hex has both a Scarlet and a Stream Wand, and so is pretty well set for whatever comes his way if he wants to go for a Water Cune. We see on HexTree's side, the 4th floor has a Death, that is the name of that monster. It is the evolved form of a clown. It can be pretty formidable, but it's still a little bit of a squishy wizard. but this is a perfect early example of how the second tower works. Here is a monster that does not exist in the regular tower. It only exists by evolving a clown, and now you have to fight them. It otherwise decides what monsters are available by having about 4 random monsters. These could be 2 copies of the same monster. This could be etc. 2 templates, 4 types of monsters. It will, each time you enter a new floor. Riders of the Sky is our tournament where we're doing second tower races. The second tower is a built-in kind of randomizer that the game has dummied out. You can access it via Game Shark or through the randomizing de-randomizer that we have available on our Discord. Be sure to check it out for anything Azure Dreams related. We would be delighted to have you. You let me toss a link here in chat. What this does is the second tower hides the names of all the items except for a select few: weapons, shields, crystals, only fruits. Those are the select few. We also will have randomized selections of monsters. Each floor, 2 monsters are cycled in and 2 monsters are cycled out of the roster. So you get a gradual evolution of what's available to fight. And some of them can be quite tough, as we see those deaths not messing around. You won't see those in regular gameplay unless you own and evolve a clown yourself. And more or less, nothing they see is going to be normal. This is a regular part of the game. It's just a part of the game. Oh, that's real bad on HexTree's side. That is the evolved form of an Eneract, and they're mean. Aside from having the water element, which is strong against Kuhn's fire damage, they're also just very strong. They're a little bit squishy, but still pretty strong. And they're not really the worst thing that they can find here. Let's see though, what... Poulet's second climb has not gone exceptionally well in terms of what is been offered. He's got a little bit of time to make up and hopefully some good loot. HexTree has really profited by those extra couple of barongs and using the pita fruit on the barong. Oh, Jarapita, that's pretty good. That is similar to an Olim. It is, or a Tumna, it is a get out of one monster free card. Reducing it down to 0 MP instantly, which does also let you get the MP from it. Oh, and we have kids, the baby form of dragons you can hatch on Poulet's side. HexTree also has Ifrits and Snowmen. On level... Need to squint close to the screen. Looks like 6, I'm guessing. There we go, that's a little bit better. Oh, that's sweet. In the meanwhile, though, of these, the kids are probably more formidable than the Ifrits. Which are, oh, glaciers on Poulet's side. That's also less than ideal. You know, that can deal a lot of hurt onto Kuhn pretty quickly. Poulet taking the time to readjust Kuhn's AI to something a little more benevolent. Looks like that's not too bad in terms of damage output with the live shield Poulet has. Later on, glaciers can be pretty unpleasant. Not the most unpleasant thing in their natural habitat in the 30s. Oh, and Poulet finding a Scarlet Wand naturally occurring. That is really excellent. Excellent, and yeah, there we go. That must feel like a confidence boost, because Poulet does not know that HexTree got a Scarlet Wand off of the initial barong. Flow Seed, not again, like the Jarapita, not something like you normally find in the hidden items of the second tower, where seem to be home to a lot of items that never made it into the proper game except via the Barong's broken rarity agreement. Weird. Mysterious. But, like, clearly they are intended as traps. Oh, as you can see on Poulet's side, finding and eating that limit fruit resulted in a different limit fruit being properly identified. That is how you identify items going forward. You can also rename items if you don't know but have a good guess as to what they are. And any item that is the same item will be renamed that way. It's kind of neat. Oh. Poulet is also finding kids on an early floor, and they just drop through the ground. That is a funny animation that probably isn't intended to have that happen. Ah, glaciers, doing one of their funny little tricks, the curling. Normally that can send you a decent chunk of distance, but in this case, just to the closest edge? Wall? There isn't a wall, but you don't fall off, so I guess we should be thankful for that. Now, if HexTree still had those truth glasses, that might be a decent candidate for using them, but HexTree burned that up, I think, to get the Scarlet Wand, which, you know what, fair. That's a fair exchange. That is a decent chunk of damage at this HP. It's not as severe as snowmen might later get to, but like, I'd start to worry a little bit, just a touch. Funnily enough, the fact that there are now no longer any clear predictions as to what monsters are available on what floors means that we kind of, like, the Earth Shield is at least a little bit better than it might normally be, because what if you just hit a thing of water monsters for a while? But then it can also be worse, because what if you hit a string of fire monsters and there's still bomb traps? I think the live shield will serve Poulet better than the Earth Shield. And it's Newell's. Oh, maximums on floor 7. That is a little bit spooky. Poulet has pretty close to caught up, since HexTree has been doing a good bit of exploring, and I think luck and speed are some of Poulet's hallmarks as a runner. So this match has gotten much more even, given the little tiny bit of extra time Poulet had to take to start this second climb. This is for the PlayStation, the original PlayStation. There is also a Game Boy Color version, which is pretty different. For one thing, it puts its extra forms of dungeon crawling directly in the game, as opposed to, like, wallpapering over the entrance, basically. And we think the second tower might have originally been intended to fill the same basic New Game Plus functions of the other dungeons that the Game Boy Color version has. Most of our runners are playing this through emulator, in part due to the needing to use the de-randomizing randomizer, but the original platform is the PlayStation. It's a little gem of a game, and I can't help but feel that, like, if Mystery Dungeon roguelikes had been more of a thing in the late 90s, I feel like this one could have had some real legs to it. It is a wonderful little gem of surprisingly varied potential. So this has kind of a whole gameplay loop that the runners are mostly going to be steadfastly ignoring. Yeah! It's a roguelike dungeon crawler with a town builder and some dating sim, and it's got, like, monsters you raise. It really is a special thing, and I would absolutely recommend to anyone who hasn't tried it trying it out. We also have a section for the Game Boy Color version and our Discord. Be sure to check that out and to follow the runners if you would like to see more. That Scarlet Wand is still doing so much work for HexTree. Yet, for that matter, for Poulet, but a lot of these monsters are monsters that I see and go, oh dear, oh dear. But many things are less scary when you're capable of dealing significant damage to them. The bottom screen is possible due to an emulator and a special little tool that Chai hooked up for our runners to use, and for people to use generally, the state display. It is a fun little resource that more or less reads their inventory, complete with the concealment of the second tower, or so they don't gain extra information out of it, and feeds it back to them. The state display also has some fascinating little tools, like the ability to track what items you have found, in case you want to guess based on probability, and keeping score what items might be possible. I see. Man, it would be so cool if there was a DS version of Azure Dreams. Unfortunately, there is instead Town's Adventure, about which we shall forget. It is an undead sequel, not a spiritual successor, but the corpse of a spiritual successor, animated by unholy magics and forgotten about. Yeah, this is quite a lot of things that we're going to refer to as horses, but, like, I guess horses are just real weird in this universe. Mules strike me as an attempt at a chocobo, frankly. But, like, you can't say that either, so horses it is. Which are beginning to not quite fold under the pressure of the Scarlet Wand. Poulet has found a block egg, and that's pretty good. You know, that's a lot of good defenses. Also, Kuhn is now just circling around the room in a fit of blindness because Kuhn could not help but be silly. That block egg can really boost Kuhn's defenses. One of the changes we've made through the power of the de-randomizing randomizer is giving them access to the blue collar and thus monster fusions available pretty much right off the back. And yeah, we're about to see this fused in to get Super Tank Kuhn on Poulet's side. And there are the medals. Meanwhile, HexTree has just about... Well, they're keeping a very small gap even with the re-entry, which was earlier, but oh, on Poulet's side, Batinals are a curse the second tower lays upon your door for the crimes of your family. Oh! Well, that burns through a lot of things very quickly, but also that was pretty handy for taking out that Batinal pretty fast. So I guess Poulet now has the freedom to forget what I just said about Batinals being the curse of the House of Atreus. Yes, and can just go nuts. Mount Burn, while it is a very expensive mixture magic, does also have one advantage. It's weird. It acts as a physical obstacle to monsters in hallways. What this means is monsters tend to go along the hallway, keeping their left hand against the wall until they hit something to stop them, or a room. If they hit a room, they will go to a randomly chosen exit as directly as possible, or they'll fight you if they see you in the room. Monsters not in a hallway, or monsters, if they hit something that would stop them, usually turn around. This can be used by putting sleeping or downed monsters in their path. Ice block, well, not ice block walls, they'll attack those. Holy scrolls, a variety, like any other obstacles you care to think of. Throwing a monster at them from outside their aggro range will also do the same effect. It will get them to turn around. And Mount Burn does that. It will get a monster that hasn't aggroed to you to turn around, which is pretty handy. And it means that if Poulet sees something he doesn't want to fight, he might not have to anymore. And that is the true way to win at Azure Dreams. Fight as little as possible. Things will eventually get hit to the point where they will pretty easily kill you. Especially here, where the regular tower stops at 40. The regular monster scaling stops at about 40. This can go on for as long as we want it to, or at least until around 100, where it gets kind of jank. Game does not want you to get to 100. This is probably why the second tower was dummied out, among other strange behaviors. That just means that the whole thing was not properly finished, so they cut their losses, said 40 was enough, and it's been enough for like 20 years, so fair enough. but now we have a whole new nightmare. Point is, most monster leveling is meant to stop at 40, and here it does not. Monsters can keep gaining levels and gaining levels and gaining levels. So, that'll be fun to see, because I'm fairly confident both runners can make it to floors that the developers may not have completely intended. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that was putting down a fruit that was not useful, not eating a fruit that fixed reverse traps, which would be news even to me. But yes, the normal tower has preset monsters at preset levels, which is all nice and assumed. There is a level scaling to some extent happening in the second tower. It's not completely random, but that level scaling has no breaks. No breaks whatsoever, and no end. Ah, there would be a C-Seed. If he finds another HexTree can switch to Watercoon if he wants to. He might not. Scarlet Wand means that that's not really a big worry. Again, he did ditch the Stream Wand, so I'm guessing he also ditched at least a foreseeable plan. Also, some of the monsters become a very different experience when you have when you have levels that they were never intended to be seen at. In some cases, this is kind, in the sense that it's easier, polite, in a way. Also, Blood HexTree keeps finding the levels with the song glitch, which is a random thing caused by the game not knowing to start the same music track if it's the same music track as the previous floor. But it remembers how to do that because it has the code for that if one gets a level up. So that fixes the glitch, and I'm glad that HexTree keeps finding these and keeps fixing the glitch more or less immediately, because musicless levels are awkward. Also, U-boats. Still not ideal, and look at that damage. Jeez, that's a lot. That's a lot of damage. Luckily, Poulet has identified a paralysis herb. And HexTree getting thrown further afield, more or less instantly. And also finding U-boats on a floor you don't want to find U-boats on. U-boats aren't fun. I mean, they're very fun in a couple of ways. You can dance with them. They're great to have as monsters. They have a more or less unique mixture magic if you unlock that mixture magic, and that's very fun. But also, they're scary. Scarlet Wand still making it much easier and more plausible to fight things, though. Scarlet Wand really is all you could want out of life. More or less. For a while. One thing I have not commented on in terms of differences between the tower and second tower is the randomized floor, like art directions, backgrounds, the fact that the floor, like the scrolling background, behaves differently. It goes up and down as opposed to circling around you, which is weird and unsettling, but also look at how much damage those deaths are capable of doing to HexTree now. Before they were fairly manageable. Now they're, here's 20 of your 40 HP, 60 actually, 20 of your 60 HP gone in a single hit. Have fun! And we have just begun to see the horrors of more monsters. Less than ideal. Yeah, that's definitely less than ideal. Hume does not have a lot of HP, so that's gonna have to be something HexTree figures out how to deal with pretty quickly. And luckily, eyesight gets restored before HexTree has to wait too long to figure out how to extract himself out of this. Kyun is not a naturally tanky monster. He's got reasonably good offenses, he's got great MP, frankly. But Kyun's pretty squishy. And does not have the smarts to realize this. HexTree has been growing a bit of a gap, I think. Poulet has been slowed, I think, just a touch by having a pretty tanky friend. Oh, and now there are Krakens. This isn't too far from where you normally expect to see them, but Krakens are always terrible, no matter when you'd expect to see them. Krakens suck, frankly. Don't take my word for it, consult our scientists. Also, Barongs no longer a rare monster. If you find them, they are everywhere, and oh, we have an egg. We have an egg, and what is HexTree hoping for? I was looking over at Poulet's side. Oh, that's pretty nice, but probably a little late. Ooh, leather shield. That is what Poulet wants to see. We have had some hot debates about the qualities of leather shield versus mirror shield, and will probably continue. Either one of them lets you avoid some attacks, and it just depends on what you're more concerned about avoiding. Unfortunately, what HexTree finds is like store brand Kyun. Discount, and not like a good store. We're talking like Dollar General Kyun. Maybe even Dollar Tree Kyun. We have Kyun at home. See, I'm guessing that there were also Garudas on the previous floor, and that is what HexTree was hoping to get out of that egg. Understandable. Extremely understandable. Still, not a whole lot of good stuff out of this particular Barong. At least not that we've easily identified. And Krakens. which no one wants to fight still. I think this is multiple people's favorite tower background, and I agree with it. It has a lovely Romanesque quality to it. Also, it'll be interesting to see what's available for that egg to be. Looks like it's something not too formidable over attacking in the darkness on Poulet's side, at least not relative to Q, whose defenses are somewhat boosted, but are a little less boosted now than they were previously, because while the block does give you double defense growth, it's still growth-based. It's not automatic. It raises max defense, not regular defense. Also, it looks like Poulet is sadly having to give up that fireball it has served well from the initial climb to this one. Oh, this egg, that egg could be a casino egg. That would be pretty exciting, but also might represent a time sink that Poulet might not be able to afford. That gap has gotten reasonably sized at this point. It is a not insignificant gap, and also, did Poulet accidentally drop the item as opposed to throw it? That's unfortunate. Ooh, glasses. That could be useful. I think those are star glasses because I think Poulet came in with truth glasses and therefore has used them since. Probably. Oh no, it's truth? Alright then. I will trust that. I would use that on that egg then. Ah, 6 hearts is star. Good to know. Oh. Trap scroll, not the most fun scroll. And unfortunately, those are all the scrolls. Okay, now Poulet has identified the star glasses and pick an egg. That is Shawnee's favorite monster and would probably go for that, you know, fuse it with, say, the Palimpa and just go to town having a monster which can in fact eat anything as MP restoratives. But I think in this case, Poulet is going to run with Cume some more. Yeah, it's pretty good fusion. Maybe if he gets Manaweva, maybe there's some potential there. But probably not the most immediate thing. HexTree doing a little inventory discovering, finding a holy scroll, that's pretty good. We have at least 2 types of bells. And that's not too bad. We have a couple of spell balls. I'd probably check one of the... Oh, that also works. And that was a great selection of spell ball to check. That binding ball can come in pretty clutch. Also, we're now beginning to see how the second tower has way too many gold coins lying around. And also how the preponderance of identical coins means that there's always a terror of Manawivas everywhere. Just everywhere. Here, they could be lurking in any object at any time, pretty much. He has some pretty solid spell balls here. Here. All your fire balls, the binding ball, really solid inventory, and a wind crystal, which means he can keep that solid inventory, as can Poulet for that matter, and there's still over an hour and 15 minutes left in case this becomes a climb that looks like it's going south. But these are pretty good inventories, and the sort that could last for quite a while, especially HexTree, which has far fewer. Not terribly lucky with that leather shield. Unfortunately, being cursed does increase, or decrease your chance of dodging and decrease your chance of hitting, and I would trust neither of those coins. That's very reasonable not to trust. And yes, world's mightiest warp trap. Also, just notice Poulet is on a floor where this particular floor background is not, well, okay, it's not the background you'd expect, but it's not far from the floor with the background you'd expect either. Also, look at how much damage balloons can deal when they're leveled up. And that's a slightly mightier warp trap. Now, ooh, that's a much mightier warp trap. That's formidable. Well, if I understand the map correctly. Pardon me? But I might not. And in fact, I didn't. I misread the direction that HexTree had come from. Making it a less mighty warp trap. Everything was fine. And yeah, there wasn't much to do to avoid that Manaweeva, which could only be a Manaweeva because it was an item in the doorway. But they're also not terribly pleasant to deal with. Oh, this is what Poulet wants. That will boost up Kuhn's defenses to the max that the block allows for. And that max is pretty much very close to doubled, and that'll be very fun to see. That'll be 50 something, it looks like. 50 directly? 50? Yeah, 50 directly. Also, rude. Dude. Granut's casting Rise, I always find inexplicably rude. Probably because it hurts. Yeah, HexTree a little nervous about, oh, that's a double elevator floor. Which is pretty handy, it's at Manaweeva's. Which can hereby be a little bit bypassed. But yeah, nope, did not bypass at all. That's a big damage. What are you hoping for out of this HexTree? Are you hoping that's a water crystal? It is, funnily enough. Now that wind crystals cannot be found anywhere, water crystals are comparatively more common in a weird way. Yeah, not wanting to fight that kid, I get. There's now about a 5-floor gap between them. Well, now slightly more than 5. But the race is still pretty young, and I think there's still room for things to go wrong, though I would not expect too much to go wrong directly unless the situation just goes very wrong, very fast, through some misfortune. Hex has the sort of inventory you long to see, frankly. And Poulet has the sort of inventory you long to have, or the sort of monster you long to have. With that double defense Cune, which is only going to get more and more defensy. The question will be, when will Poulet decide to stop waiting for Cune to get more levels before applying that Shomoro herb? The one downside of having a more defensive monster is probably that does not necessarily help you go faster. It helps you go safer. But what Poulet needs right now is either to go very fast, to go a good bit faster, or to be much safer. One of the two. And safer is only handy if something bad happens to HexTree. Yeah, go fast. Poulet is pretty good at going fast. So I would not be surprised to see a turn around. Oh, no, it's the music glitch again. HexTree deciding not to fight this Mana Weaver directly, and luckily finds an elevator to make that a much easier prospect. Ooh, Holy Bell on Poulet's side. That's a thing you want to see. Oh! We will never know what that is. Maybe it was a roche fruit. It'll be a roche fruit because HexTree did not get to see it, and therefore no one ever will. It shall be a haunting. Yeah, we're seeing HexTree more and more avoid fights. The level scaling has caught up to the power of the Scarlet Wand. And it's not as ideal as it once was. Direct fights are going to just be rarer and rarer as time goes on. Unless, he hits... Now, you might say, noise, that's a perfect thing to be fighting, but noises are now pretty dangerous. Their stat growths are actually quite good, and that can make them a little bit troublesome. Luckily, they're still wind type, and that means they're not as tough as they could be to a good old-fashioned fire type Cune, but nevertheless, it's a thing to keep in mind. And a lemur is still always good and always identifiable. Well, so that will help avoid fight. Hey, look! A stat that does not do a whole lot of useful things. And there's a cure-all herb. And also, wow, that griffin hurts so much. That is a lot of damage that griffin dealt. As should not be surprising. These runners are both pretty much perfectly equipped, but Azure Dreams is still very mean about this, and also, that wee dog thinks that, oh, you need a snack. I see your hunger. This did not help the wee dog actually do its job in terms of beating your face in, so thank you for the snack machine. Oh! That was a Manaweeva pretending to be a wee dog. That's a thing that they can do. Isn't that? That's fun, isn't it? You now never know when something is actually a Manaweeva. Ooh, egg. Now I wonder what that one could be. I haven't seen too much that's like immediately exciting over on Poulet's side. Poulet not wanting to walk around with low HP. Possible stealth's an issue, possibly other things might be an issue. You now never know when something could just come and wreck your face. Hello, Manaweeva. I wonder if that egg perhaps could, and then we have item duping possibilities. But I somehow suspect we won't see Poulet spend the time for that. Alright. Good reason. And a 6th floor gap is nothing to be sneezing at. That said, those 6 floors are very perilous. And everything ahead of HexTree yawns out with the promise of doing lots of damage. Unless it's like a Palimpa floor. Palimpas will always be okay. They will always be Palimpas. Isn't that wonderful? And at this point, any Palimpa that spawns will be a collar jack Palimpa, which won't attack Ko directly. It'll just try and take the collar from him. So that's handy. That offers a blessed little reprieve. Yeah, I wouldn't trust that room either. HexTree doing a quick little, is this dangerous? Good? Bad? What is this? Check of what's in that room. Are there Manaweevas? Do they hurt? And oh, HexTree has gotten a little bit sandwiched in trying to outrun that maximum. And has now found himself caught between two things with, oh, that's not what HexTree wanted at all. That's not remotely what HexTree was hoping for. Look, that was, however. This, unfortunately... No, looks like they've both walked away enough that HexTree might be able to leave. Emphasis might. Yeah, no, I would leave. Nope, those guys are caught in a loop. Oops, so this does appear to be the safer exit for the moment. And there's that maximum. I would say while there's a high ground to use, you might want to use it. Maximums are hit for a lot of damage, but they're not insurmountable. But they're also difficult, to put it mildly. In their natural habitat, which is around this floor, actually, come to that. They are one of the things that maybe if you're very lucky and have high levels, you can occasionally fight if circumstances allow. Oh, sabers. Those are delightful. I bet everyone's glad to see a saber. But as we can see, that gap has narrowed a little bit. Poulet catching back up as HexTree has to spend more time ducking, dodging, and weaving all the fights available. We're seeing a fusion probably for the MP. There aren't a whole lot of other advantages, but it does create an inventory space and averages out their MP to a higher degree. The HexTree does have a pita fruit. Still, Poulet does not, and so that's a thing that Poulet has to keep some pretty good track of and, like, eyes open for. But the eggs are still very useful for feeding monsters as a sort of pita fruit substitute. That's why, given the choice between bringing a pita fruit and the Palumpa egg into, say, a second entry, I'd go Palumpa egg. It's more versatile. Pita fruit does one job. Palumpa egg does like 3. You can pick which one is most applicable to your particular circumstances. It can be an egg bomb for a large amount of damage one time. It can be a pita fruit. Oh, rise. Oof. Looks like it missed though, so that's handy. No, never mind. It does not look like it missed. I missed how much HP was the max HP. And how much bigger it was. Another egg. Like, Poulet has a lot of eggs, as a matter of fact. We're now entering the second hour of play. 1 hour remaining for any re-entries, and oh, Spider. Spooter. That would be very, very good to find. After all, while some things don't let you go fast, while defense does not help you go fast, anything else kind of does, and that's a restore scroll, I believe. That's the only one that lets you select an item. Unfortunately, Poulet, did Poulet accidentally think it was a decurse? Oh dear. Decurses work automatically. They don't care if you're cursed or not. They won't let you check and scout them out and will apply to all non-cursed items. So that is a fun fact about different scrolls. So some runners operate under the philosophy of, if it dies, it dies, and oh, look at that. That is an egg on HexTree's side. That could be a barong. That could be a lot of pretty useful things there. Here, the question is, will HexTree think about taking the time to match it? And also, Poulet has, in the intervening time, almost caught up. We're at floor 33 versus 32 now. Oh, Pickett stole the Pickett. Pickett stole its baby back. That's not fair. That's just mean. We'll see if Poulet wants to get that egg back, or is able to, even given the circumstances. Also, Garudas, huh? Yes, Pickett wanted Shawnee's favorite monster as well. It wanted its baby. Admittedly, it's not its baby individually, probably. Oh, and there's that egg back. So now we managed to get it. Meanwhile, killers. Not ideal, but also, Poulet has now caught up. Up there on the same floor, Poulet could take this lead. Also, not nice at all. That is a big heaping help of damage that HexTree just had to suffer. And with a saber on the way and a saber behind him, oh, HexTree, this is looking pretty bad now. This is looking very bad. Yeah, don't think that's gonna help you, Hex. Do not think that's gonna help you. Ooh, one thing worse than a regular Kraken is like a super Kraken. But yeah, this is a horrible setup. And oh no, HexTree ditched the Wind Crystal. HexTree ditched the Wind Crystal, and now I think must be regretting it. Poulet feeding in that initial Palimpa egg. Poulet is now in a pretty good spot to just... Yikes. Nope, that's not gonna do it. That's not gonna cut it. And now it's going to get slightly worse. That is unfortunate. And also, that killer is not permanently gone. It could... Yeah, there it goes. And now there's two monsters. This is not ideal on Hex's side. Poulet, be careful about getting too greedy here. I'm not sure I would do the same thing in the same circumstances, but you know, it's not too far a walk. You can pick up items and put them away without burning turns, so that can get them both probably to the elevator taking one hit. So that's not the worst thing in the world. That does leave Poulet in not a great spot if the entry isn't too bad, but it is. And also Poulet has pretty firmly now taken a admittedly very small but decided lead, so we will switch audio. Just in time that we can be assured that there would definitely be music, even if there wasn't previously. While since HexTree hasn't been fighting anything for the last little while, the advantage in speed of going cuneless probably won't tell here, and now HexTree pretty much gave up the only Wind Crystal that's going to exist. And so HexTree is now kind of running not in a super great position, I would say. There's still plenty of time to re-enter, but also there's a lot of time that would be lost if anything happened here. How long can HexTree keep going, and what will he get out of it? He hasn't found a spare wind crystal yet. Familiarless is just bad at second tower. Or we can climb to... Yeah, I agree with Septic. We can climb to 40 in normal tower familiarless, but 99th in second tower is a different animal. Even if you can't fight a lot of things, having the option to fight, having a spare warm body is nevertheless a pretty significant security blanket, and getting Kyun stronger while there's still time to re-enter is a wonderful boon. And it saves a lot of trouble on repeat entries, even if you don't win Crystal out to get to that re-entry. Also, not damage I think HexTree wanted to take. Actually, I think the difficulty finding a wind crystal is one of the particular troubles. Yep. Guess we won't see what that is by having it hit the Dreamin'. I think we've seen Holy Scrolls identified, so this could be flat or alchemical maybe, but nothing happened, so that's a decursed scroll. See, that other scroll was a restore. Looks like HexTree at least has a barong to pry into. And yeah, Poulet not wanting to fight that Batinal, cannot blame him for that. I would not want to fight that Batinal either. They are surprisingly mean and have ended a couple of different tournament runs. Flat scroll, that is a surprising boon. You would not think it. But because monsters have a different sense of visibility and a different behavior in hallways, one that's much more abusable than in rooms, you now have the ability to kind of just go into the center of a large room and nothing will ever come attack you. Many things become intersections and places of manipulation that weren't before. Now, let's see what HexTree decides to use that Truth Glass on. Acid Rain Ball, that's pretty handy. And there's another flat scroll. 2 flat scrolls. It's almost like a little high five. Unfortunately, flat scrolls do not remove, like, traps, but they do make a lot of them safer, because if it's in the center of a room, again, you can just sort of chill out there, and nothing will ever come hurt you. It's pretty great. Oh, Holy Sword. That's a fun little sideshow. Water Crystal, that's also pretty nice. Unfortunately, not a lot of useful items out of that barong other than that water crystal. Another flat scroll. Oh, that water crystal is huge. He has a block fusion. He has like 40 defense he can gain more or less whenever he chooses. Looks like we're seeing HexTree hatch this egg. It has been long enough since getting this egg that I'm not sure what HexTree is hoping to find in it. But, like, HexTree might also not be sure what he's hoping to find in it. But this is as good a place as any to hatch it. Killer. If Hex has a fusion, that could do some good work. X doesn't though, so it's now just going to kind of be a warm body and a hope. Yeah. Okay, doing it now. 20. Jeez. Since I tend not to think of shields as adding much to defense, this adds a lot. And also, look at all those monsters that HexTree doesn't have to deal with thanks to the power of Flat Scroll. Unfortunately, that killer is making decisions that I don't understand, but okay. And another picket egg. That is a lot of picket eggs. That binding maul out of juice now. Luckily, Leather Shield comes in clutch there. Yeah, I would probably use the Water Crystal right about now. That's a lot of HP that would be recovered in no time at all. That's some MP, but you have so many eggs. You have so many eggs, Poulet. Just use the Water Crystal. Fine. Don't listen to me. I'm just the voice that comments matches. You can't even hear me. I say like I'm not. Don't run off without your Cune. That's the downside of AI1, is that you periodically need to remember. Yeah, he might have forgotten about the Black Fusion. It was a while ago. Oh no. Oh, that's really bad for HexTree. That's really bad. That killer is probably gonna go for the attack, and you probably don't want to see that. Also, I'm not sure that would be what I would do in the circumstances. But also, the circumstances are very bad. That's a Viper. Vipers, scary. They're scary on floor 20. Meanwhile, Poulet has made it to the 40th floor. That mark GG if this were a regular tower race. But it's not. So now, onwards and upwards. And there's still plenty of tower left to climb. It meant quite a while left to do it in. We have found a holy scroll. Neither of those other two scrolls are a holy scroll. Yeah, when he unbags the killer, it's gonna get a swing. That's less than ideal. He might just decide to never unbag it. This might have been a fun concept. You know, with 69 damage a hit, I would use the Water Crystal. A surprise Manoeva or anything, any sort of surprise, would just end. This is Cune. Consider the Water Crystal, Poulet. Meanwhile, actually HexTree has now taken a small lead. We are now officially changing leads with some reliability here. That's pretty cool. Into levels where man was not meant to meddle. Now are you thinking about using the water crystal? Nope. Fire crystal, that is a fart in a hurricane. That is a fart in a hurricane. Because salamanders, the monster summoned by fire crystals, do not have any level scaling whatsoever. They're just a bad time here. They are so sad and pathetic and just, yeah, noped out. That is a restore scroll. Kuhn is back in the game on HexTree's side. That could come in handy. Now the question is, how long is that Kuhn going to do much good? But also, oh hey, yeah, that is a good sand. That's the sand you want to see in the world. Poulet is caught back up to floor 4. Did I say Sand Knight accidentally? Oops. Don't know why that happened. These things do occur from time to time. Also, yeah, let's see what some of these things... A recovery ball, that's not worth a lot. But at this point... Oh, I did not. Okay, thank you. Yes, a Sand Knight is also a sand I'd like to see in the world. I'd also like to blame in the world, but you know, one thing at a time. Also, big hurts. Have you considered the water crystal? Then things could hurt you less. Think about it. I love how at this point I'm just fixated on this water crystal to replace every bit of attention Poulet has steadfastly refusing to give it. The sad thing about having multiple picket seeds is that picket eggs, not seeds, is that pickets are not great egg bombs. Because, like, you've seen pickets' attacks. They're not fantastic in that department. It's not a strength. Oh, that miss could be very significant. Wasn't immediately significant, but it could have been, and cyclones are no joke at this level. Nothing is a joke anymore. Or this is floor 43. The time for jokes is always if you're me, but no longer is it the towers. Ah, you butts. That's also not a joke in this context. It's barely a joke in any context. but their big yellow mouths that go chomp 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 are pretty funny. It is the day of the sleeping U-boats, apparently. And Poulet is electing for sleeping U-boats to lie. Poulet has taken in a small lead. This is a pretty neck-and-neck race at the hour mark. They are both doing a fantastic job in a tower that is getting increasingly dangerous. Luckily, Poulet managed to lose that U-boat's track. That is always good. And flames are, at this point now, probably one of the least formidable available monsters. Isn't that nice? But this is a very close matchup now. Poulet is feeling very paranoid about the prospect. Oh, that's why. Poulet has seen that there's a stealth and does not want to fight it, and does not want to run into one invisibly. Very sensible. Oh, hey, an egg. More eggs. That's so many eggs. And that's so many gold coins that, like... The second tower, we've seen the item limit get hit. A thing that you wouldn't normally expect to see. But there's just too many gold coins. It's the worst, actually. Why does it think you want all of these coins? Poulet backing up a little bit to get in a better matchup against this Garuda. Yes, the tower is supposed to be filled with riches, but have we considered that maybe not all that glitters is gold? Did you not read your game developers? Think about this. Yeah, that's some pretty big damage to be taking even at an elemental disadvantage. Crystals. One of these days, actually, given the MP state, I'd probably go for it. I'd probably go for it. Do consider. There's some very careful selection about what is and what is not fightable at this point. Even with all those eggs, there's still plenty of opportunities to choose differently. Floor 49. Everyone is still... Well, okay. Poulet is on the second climb, due to the first one getting off to a bad start, but also, oof. That knocks Kuhn right out of the fight, and now this has suddenly become a much dicier prospect for Poulet. Unfortunately, not the scroll you wanted in this context. The question is, yeah, if only that Kuhn had block defense, maybe things would have turned out differently. Now it's time to figure out what egg to hatch. Would he really want the scroll he does want? Well, he did refuse the scroll he wants earlier on, and also, hey, someone's using a water crystal. Someone's using a water crystal. Poulet. I'm not sure Poulet has the time to hatch all the eggs. But yes, that's certainly a prospect. There are so many of them. It's a very close match. They have traded the lead a couple of times at this point. It's a clown that is not bad. Does nothing with the Scarlet Wand, and can do nothing with the Scarlet Wand, but it does at least offer kind of an option. That is a very nice find. Oh, Water Clown now. That helps a good deal, I would say. Water, much better than wind. And Paralyzed Griffin. This is a good opportunity to test out the new friend. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. That is a scroll. A fire clown, a picket with... You know what? A picket with Lawdown would be bonkers. That would just be all day, every day. Now, it's time to figure out what to do with this room. HexTree is going to play the slot machines. Getting another water crystal. Which is now just the noise I make when faced with a water crystal in this particular match until I forget about it. Yeah, that is a lot of damage there. And now Poulet has found a holy scroll. A scroll, which there are certainly better uses, but that at least tells you which scroll it is forever, so that's nice. I know HexTree has identified pretty much all the scrolls on his side. Also, this feels like a great time to play the slots, actually. Because you can just block off that hallway. I'm on the point where I'd maybe start thinking about, like, the wind crystal as a thing you throw. Not that... Why does that hurt so bad? Why does that hurt so bad? Poulet! Is this gonna be the new restore scroll? Is Poulet just refuses to use water crystals? They're good, we promise. You only have a half hour to re-enter. You have a disposable monster. You have several disposable eggs. You don't need the wind crystal. You don't need it. You don't need it, I promise you. you probably do not need it. I know that's a scary prospect, but you've only got a little bit of fine, okay? Jeez, that snow wave. You have to admit, the snow wave does one good. And there we have, he has become death. That is a lovely purple death. Okay, we are really neck and neck. Poulet will, I think, keep the lead by getting to the elevator first, but this is such a close match at the hour 34 mark. Which is not really a mark, actually, it's just a thing we're experiencing. But also, I'd be a little bit nervous. Admittedly, the elemental advantage, yeah, HexTree, having gotten a wind crystal, has also realized there's not much point to getting a wind crystal at this point. But Poulet has realized, oh yeah, coins are a thing. That is not something that, be careful, Poulet, that is not something that your clown can help you with. You need fire. You need to kill it with fire. That'll do. But noises are not a joke at this level. Which is, honestly, a funnier joke than if they were a joke at this level. Their true Magikarp nature, which has lain dormant all these years. Lain dormant? Don't know why I said it like that. Has finally come to the fore in a menace. Huh. I don't remember what that one is, but it's... You know what, I'll believe Poulet. It's probably not on him. There's where all the coins come in handy. I cannot identify if the lead has done. Yeah, I mean, dormant absolutely works. I just meant, I'm not sure why I put it like line as opposed to lane or lane. That is me pronouncing things like a weirdo. A time-honored tradition. Meanwhile, I think we are back to neck and neck. Yeah, 2 picket eggs. Poulet has been on an egg hunting adventure. Treasure loop, that's not too bad. Poulet kind of does not have the time one would want for using the slots, but also, like, yeah, I guess that's fair enough. Also, not a monster one really wants to be fighting in these circumstances. I wouldn't be surprised if this does not go the way, yeah, Poulet wants to go. And now Poulet is at a little bit of a loss. You have an Olim. Don't. The picket will not help you there. Air pickets aren't good for that sort of thing. But also, you have an Olim, Poulet. Be sensible. Not ideal. Yeah, that's scary. I would not want to be there. Dealing with that. HexTree has a chance of getting a Manoeva. Poulet, getting a little bit of an elevator train, that'll do some good. And an item room. That's handy. The herbs with the very long things are sleep herbs, right? I mean, sleep herbs have a different number of hearts than other herbs for no particular reason. We covered this in a previous race. 5 heart is a hazard. Good to know. Seven is sleep. Okay, that makes sense. Either way, yeah, Poulet, not a stranger to running Cuneless, or for that matter, familiar lists, but it's such a scary prospect. I would not want to do that. I would feel uncomfortable being here. But there are times one must overcome discomfort, and also that is such a wall of gold coins that I would feel really uncomfortable. Now, yeah, this is a pretty good use of a spell ball there. Their noises still fold to those at least. A thing you would never think to use them on in normal gameplay, but the second tower's gonna second tower. Also, wow, HexTree, that is a terrible room. That is an unpleasant little chain of monsters there. Oh, lucky with the pickup. Yeah, the 2-hour mark approaching is not a terrible one, though, like, that's certainly a thought about exiting the tower, hatching an egg, and seeing it. Though, Poulet would also have a much stronger tune to, like, suggest as a possibility. YOLOing an egg and just, like, hoping that it's a good thing, again, certainly an option. Certainly would not go completely amiss. HexTree has brought out that killer again, but it gets a swipe in. Luckily, that works out pretty well. Well, Poulet has returned Cune for the inventory space. Not sure why, but okay. We're just living with this universe. Also, yeah, the killer is a pretty spooky prospect at this stage. Now the question is, where? What does Poulet do to approach this dangerous tower from here? Actually, they're both relatively, well, the killer's still alive, but at the moment has only just now come back to its senses and provides, at this phase, relatively little. It can do a lot of work. Its offenses are pretty good for direct attack, but because you can't pick it up, it's a little bit less useful for AI1 than might ordinarily be the case. Oh, that's some good elevator luck. Not sure why Poulet did it like that. That was the wrong movement for this circumstance. Oh, probably wanting to avoid a Manoeva, but now that's bad. This is a bad situation Poulet finds himself in and now has to walk away from all security to get a little bit less security. Yeah, this is where you just want to... Yeah, killer can come in clutch. And now Poulet can just get that cyclone out and can hopefully just get on the elevator or the go-up trap or whichever. And up we go. This is a situation where I think everyone's sweating bullets a little bit. And U-boats, unfun to see, dangerous to deal with, and Poulet's inventory is not great. Like, there's worse things in the world. Oh, Hex found a roche fruit. That could be very handy depending on what Hex finds. And also, Poulet, that is such a waste of time. That is not going to help you, Poulet. I don't know why you thought it would. Okay. This is, I suppose, flame ball time. That's the time this is. I get the impression Poulet does not understand how useless fire crystals are. Getting this impression, frankly. If that has what one is looking for, this could also work. And now it's just a matter of hoping you get to the elevator without too much trouble. But it is a close enough race that really it could go either way and anything could happen. These are both fantastic runners doing a fantastic job. And oh, this is so bad. This is bad. I would probably just win Crystal. You still have time. I don't think you get out of this room alive, frankly. I don't think you get out of this room. Yeah, no. This might be I think you gotta win Crystal. It's not good. You probably won't get a higher score. But you've got time. Time is all you have. Nope, 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 nope. Win. I think that's all Poulet can do here. He's not going to beat this score, and this gives Hex a pretty straight shot at the win. Yeah, this is a complex game to figure out, and very simple. And Poulet is down. Does not get to keep any of the gains of this re-entry. Just Kuhn, but still has time to enter again, and I'll be blunt, there's, I think, very little beating a 50, but one can give it one's best. A 60, actually. Looks like he is taking a minute to recenter and/or has forgotten that it's 2 hours until re-entry stops, or has realized that there's no beating that floor count. We will see if Poulet says anything on the subject. But I wouldn't be surprised if this was a small bio break. Let's switch to HexTree. While Poulet technically has the lead, HexTree is currently climbing the tower. And I also suspect that lead, yeah, all the races prior to this one have had a lot more variance in terms of distance between the runners, but they have traded the lead a couple of times here, and they have been going at this whole match real hard. Yeah, I would roast the heck out of an Arachne too. It's got a spell, it's an Arachne. Can't stress that one enough. That is one of those monsters that you could go all day with, frankly. While it be fairly significantly underleveled, that's the case with just about everything, including yourself. And doubled stats make up for a lot in this regard. It looks like we are seeing Poulet just back off and get ready to get going, opening the safe, but not the way that lets you access the safe in any way. Why is the game like this? This looks like Poulet will be making that re-entry with Kuhn, just holding on hope. Meanwhile, yeah, with a water crystal, AI1 with Arachne could go a very far way. And Kuhn is pretty strong on Poulet's side, and, for example, has the double block defense restored. And so, like, that can be a little bit handy in terms of, look at that defense. Oh, it's a Manueva. Huh, funny that. Not, I think, Kuhn's gonna be immortal for, frankly, probably the rest of the match. Or very nearly the rest of the match. Looks like HexTree tossing out Kuhn, and we'll see if HexTree finds anything he wants to use the Roach on here. Oh, 58. We are getting close to the point where we are matched up. Also, ow. That's gonna sting. Not checking the scroll. I probably would in this circumstance. Oh, that is a good candidate for that Roche fruit. We'll see if HexTree decides to use that or not. Yes, that's what I would do, Hex. Don't know. Nope. Apparently not what Hex would do. Okay. Frankly, like, I'm not sure how I'd feel holding out for a Garuda at this point. Cause, like, what if you don't find one? Then you've got a Geropita minus, I guess? People make weird decisions about their monsters in this tournament, I gotta say. The Garuda agreed. The Garuda is real. There we go. There we go. We're seeing because we have had really only 3 entries in this tower, we're seeing one fun feature of the second tower that we previously had not seen. Namely that things remask when you re-enter, and also if you've renamed objects, now sometimes the names you renamed them to will be part of the pool of masked names. And that's weird. That's a weird thing that happens. Which is probably one of those reasons why this never made it into, or didn't, it made it into the full game, but they like wallpapered over the entrance so that you don't know it's there and you can't reach it. They took away the key and they wallpapered over the entrance and they went, yep, that's that sealed off. No one's going to peel back the wallpaper and rifle through the furnishings, right? We're good. Hex takes the lead at the hour 54 mark. It's extremely unlikely Poulet is going to make this back up just as a function of time. There isn't a lot of it. And while I wouldn't say HexTree can go all day, yeah, that block bind was spooky. There's a lot of room for things to get very spooky in this tower. Pretty well, sure. I'm just not sure, like, this is a floor a minute pace, and I think that's, even with a leveled up Cune, going to be difficult. It's not completely impossible. But it's very hard, and to some extent, how Poulet actually performs is not super relevant. And it's not irrelevant. But for a floor a minute pace, you need something a little bit beyond on just playing extremely well. You need luck. And to be fair, we don't know what this third entry of the second tower is going to look like. There might be luck. There might be loads of luck. And we can hope to see this match become a different sort of tense. Yeah, unsurprising. Wyverns, in terms of just having spell balls to use against them. Yeah, that is also the problem, is that, like, while Cune gains a lot of levels, Ko still needs at least some HP in order to, like, take the occasional hit. Surprise Mana Weave, stealths behind the corner, that sort of thing. It's going to be a whole thing, basically. I'd probably check a scroll or a spell ball on there rather than a fruit. All the particularly useful fruits you can just eat, though Tumna is not bad. Up. This could be trouble. This could be exactly the break Poulet is looking for. Or, unfortunately, only we will get to see it for now if it ends up being that break at all. Yeah, this is not a great corner HexTree is in at the moment. Up, and Poulet finds a monster den. Luckily, Kuhn can, in fact, just slice and dice through it. But the big thing is getting HexTree out of danger. Or at Poulet out of danger. HexTree is currently not in danger for a few more minutes. Okay, now HexTree is thinking about what to do. Oh, a monster den on this floor. That's terrible. Luckily, Holy Bell. This is the time for the Holy Bell. This is what Holy Bells are for. But monster den on both sides. That's pretty funny. Holy Bell. Holy Bell Hex. No. No. Bell. Okay. Fine. Also, what are those trolls? This is a silly place to not use a Holy Bell. I'll be blunt, Tex. Resources are useless if you die, and we're past the 2-hour mark. This race would just sort of continue for until something happened to Poulet, basically. Hex has no fear. Hex should maybe have a little bit more fear. Little bit more fear. Are you going to have to use this on a troll? Is this where we are? Oh no! There goes HexTree! That is the end of HexTree's climb. This is the break that Poulet was hoping for. Let's see what Poulet can make of it. Good effort, and Poulet is on pace. It's a difficult pace to possibly overcome a, 64. Yeah, Poulet's goal is a 65. That's very high. But Poulet is on pace. It has been less than 10 minutes and Poulet has climbed 10 floors. That's the way it's gotta be. But after the 2-minute mark, there's no re-entry, so that is HexTree's entire climbing. Now it is up to Poulet to see how far and how fast he can go. Which, we're in for a treat, I think. Now, I'm pretty sure that's actually... No, wait, never mind. I would say it's actually not a decursed scroll, but I don't think that's the case. And also, Poulet has found another Scarlet Wand. That is a great blessing in this circumstances. Also, I should switch Poulet's audio over. One of them is running, and the other one is now, like, running, maybe going to run out of the restaurant. Yep, there's no money there. undoable. Curry. I love the lengthy restaurant descriptions that some of the food in this game has. I want to know who wrote it. I want to know who spent their time thinking about, like, the food infrastructure of Montsabia. Yeah, tell us all about it. I want an AMA from the person who wrote the food. Up! Poulet, you forgot Kuhn! You left Kuhn behind! Luckily, that did not come back to bite him. But also, remember that Kuhn. Looks like HexTree is going to be washing dishes. With the U-boat glitch, so, like, invisible dishwashing. Scrap-a-dab. Okay. Yeah, this is a not unreasonable time. And we also have to remember that, there is Mount Burn over on Kuhn. That's one of those things that's really pretty useful. And oh, hey! Defense recovery! Fail! That this occurred! Huh! Who knew that this was a thing that could happen? Nope, you don't really have time to fight this spider. And you don't have time to fight this spider where Kuhn can't take hits for you. And you don't have time to not get the elevator. I'm not sure what Poulet is thinking here. Well, okay, I think Poulet is thinking about the trade-offs of, oh, and Garuda? Okay, that's fair enough, yeah. Garuda would be a big help in terms of Poulet's very specific goals. We're scrubbing and dubbing. Yes, on discussion, there is a different angel in the English release of the game, and it's hard to say which is creepier. The Japanese angel, I think, has creepier features. The English angel is creepier because it does not belong in this game. It is an angel from a different level of reality who even knows what it is. It is, to Ko, it must be an eldritch horror. To us, it's like a Renaissance angel, baby. If you want to see horrors man was not meant to know, or check out the community, be sure to check out our Discord. Normally we have a command for this, but we kind of forgot about it. Or we didn't get this set up properly for this tournament, and that's fine. That Oleem fruit, very handy. A thing I think worth keeping. Also, oh, HexTree is going to talk to Mr. Isaac by the windmills. You know, that thing Mom is mostly telling you to do when you wish she wouldn't. That's an excellent little blinder ball. This is a pretty good opportunity to check inventory for useful treasures. Oh, and that's a Jarapita, but we don't get to rename it now. Yeah, we rarely get to see the town in tournament races. Since while we have categories that utilize the town, this isn't one of them. We've done 1 or 2 bookless races. I think it might be fun to do more. We just need more people running bookless, which has, I think, a little bit more time investment than any percent. And which is the basis for most of our tournament, any percent, probably with some twists. Go up, crap, that is good luck. Look, in this very particular regard. Oh, that's just mean. He barely got onto this floor. Now you're bullying him. Aw, look at that. Kids admire it in Co. around the, around Hex. Thanks, but like, 20th? That's not at all fair or accurate. Good to know. Anyway, it's kind of funny when there isn't the fountain there. There to hear all the admiring fangirls. Who are now going to, like, quietly try and... I don't know what they think they're hiding from. Yeah, this has a balloon egg. That, no, actually isn't all that useful at this point. A balloon egg would be really funny in a different sort of context, but like a very different context where a lot of things just kind of work differently. One would not have the opportunity to raise it up to a point where it could take Poulet high enough to be useful. Such is the sad fate of balloons. This is a nice little patch of wind floors Poulet is on now. Yeah, this is just like some straight up wind floors, and also Garuda. That's going to be a temptation to search out an egg, but that's probably not a thing Poulet has time for. Or he's still making very good time and the sort of time he needs. HexTree is going to the fortune teller. So, that's certainly a floor. Yep, that is a holy bell. That's a handy thing to have and keep track of. Up, leather shield back again. Now you're going to have to take this hit, unfortunately, and that's a big chunk of damage. A spicy meatball of damage. Luckily, block defense. Make an effort to understand, ooh, that is not damage you wanted to be walking into. Danger, Poulet, danger. Luckily, Kuhn is in no danger, like, ever. But also, be wary, Garuda might use a duck. And then you'd be in serious trouble. Oob duck, even. Oh, that could have been run ending! That could have been the race right there! This, I would be so scared. Up, and there's there's trash. There is Kuhn gone, and luckily just going to battle through this floor like a complete... And there's a familiar bell, that's pretty handy. Okay, crisis mostly averted, but Kuhn, not a lot of HP there. This is a dangerous prospect for everyone involved. Oh, and now it's worse. 8 HP left, yeah, this is not perfectly straightforward. Luckily, Garudas can more or less be taken out smoothly, but like, Poulet not having a good time on this floor. Floors need to not be like that. Yeah, be careful. That's. I would probably Oleem something. Probably not holy. That's not going to help you. Don't know why you thought that was going to help you, Poulet. I mean, it ultimately did, but only after a little while. Oleem. Don't be married to your Oleems, Poulet. They won't help you when you're dead. Yeah, not sure what you're thinking here, buddy. Well, I guess that's duck and run for cover. I've spent enough resources on this stupid floor. With, of course, an elevator room with only one thing in it. Like, HexTree might be at a little bit of a loss as to what to do at this point. Can't re-enter. Poulet is still running. Oh, this is an unpleasant floor layout. I'd be rather annoyed at the universe if I were Poulet. Yeah, build a casino, X. You have 42 minutes. Do a curry percent. Lots of options. Look at all those gold coins and not a single useful thing in the world. It all depends on if you use your resources. That is the key lesson here, everybody. Don't hold on to things like they're precious treasures. It won't help you when you're dead. Or as, like I've often heard it said, you can't take it with you. Also, I was completely missing this game's, like, rudimentary ability to maybe, like, try and do anything useful for you. Also, Poulet still on pretty good pace. This is not impossible, and also I'm remembering what the floor we're wanting to reach is. And little star glasses, that's very handy. Finding a holy bell to replace lost holy bells, that's a pretty good find at this juncture. Nicely done. And now, this won't count as a re-entry, but like, Max can do whatever. It's fine. I mean, this won't score in any way, it's just there. Will Hex be attempting Earthquake %? Which is the dumbest idea I can think of for this context. But an appropriate amount of dumb. Oh, that's bad. First one month. Earthquake % being our community's name for if you try and leave every floor by method of an earthquake. The anti-turtling measure the game puts to prevent you from just level grinding on one floor infinitely. It will eventually destroy the floor underneath you, and we occasionally attempt to see how far we can get, destroying with only going up by force traps or destroying what's underneath you via earthquake. No, looks like HexTree is just going to do something a little bit more normal. A very chaotic, kind of a joke approach, because it is the opposite of a speedrun. It does not go fast. It is take as long as you conceivably can, actually. It is a slow crawl, trying to see how long you can plausibly take to beat Azure Dreams. Almost. There are a couple of ways one could try and make it longer, by making the turns take longer. I guess one would call that poison trap %. I have spoken a curse into being, and I apologize in advance. Yeah, a couple of people have succeeded. Did one-off jokes about failing. It's not what HexTree is doing here, because it's not terribly interesting. You know, nice to see a normal tower progression on top of this. Oh. Now what are you doing, X? Also, oof, that's a bad thing to walk directly into. Yeah, this is a good time for an Elaine. Also, very impressed. This HexTree, 31 floors in. Oh yeah, getting some money for a hospital. That would do it. Curry%. Yes, that checks out. Meanwhile, Poulet still on this climb, 32 floors. This could actually, it would be really interesting if this made it. Surprising, but interesting. And Poulet is clearly not taking any chances. Also, oh no, it's just short. It's just short. Of the 4,000 you need to make the hospital. I think he'd have to, like, probably sell one or two more things that he was trying not to sell. Oh, because they might be useful for a healing or a run. Meanwhile, Poulet having to proceed with a little bit of care at this stage. Mage. Kuhn's defenses are still fine because the block fusion paying off. Something mumbledy. Also, yep, there we go, selling. Sold everything, got the money for a hospital. Very important, that. Huh. Now there I thought was HexTree's goal, but now I'm not sure. Or do you have to get the temple and then the hospital opens up as an option? I feel like that's not the case, but I don't quite remember. Oh well. This might be generalized messing about. Yeah, and those trolls still doing, like, well, okay, literally 1 damage to Kuhn, which is very fun to see. Okay, I don't hate sword trolls, I hate bow trolls, and by extension, am not super keen on bow trolls. Turns out, she's not a troll fan. Weird, right? There we go, now the hospital's getting built. And it looks like Poulet is picking up some pace, and that is going to be pretty handy. See here, there are a couple of monsters he could have fought and elected not to, and that is a pretty sensible. Also, wow, that balloon can put in some hurt. Not a large amount of hurt comparatively, but some hurt. Not no hurt. And that is a friend. Yeah, Hex going in, getting hit a lot. And a lot to advance, get the hospital built and thereby advance the silly subplot required for curry percent. A subcategory in which the goal is to get to the point where you can tell a girl, sorry, sorry, or curry. And we want to tell her curry. Okay, they are both of the same type of fruit. That means it's probably not a roche, but good to check. I'd probably just try eating it with Ko's own face. Like, oh, this is not a pleasant room. This is not this is not the beautiful house. This is not my beautiful wife. HexTree, they could be a roche, it's just unlikely. But HexTree has met one of I think, my favorite girls in Azure Dreams. Her storyline is just a little bit more involved than the others, and also it involves going to the tower and doing stuff in it, and that's fun. Yep. Basically, we have been charged with getting a healing herb to cure this cute sick girl. And also, just like, hang out with her a bunch. Herb get. And use to get 1 HP, which is not super profitable, but also, admittedly, medicinal herb isn't worth terribly much at this point. There's probably an edge case, and now we're seeing what that is. It did something. We don't know what. So it could have been like Leolam. Oh, that's Big Peter? Yeah, it could have been. Very weird. Funky. A lot of the good fruits you can just kind of like and munch on and it won't do you any harm. Ah, it was Leva. Is that a thing? So that's what Leva does when you feed it to a wild monster. I did not know. That's so weird. But I guess that makes sense. It goes to the inventory. A thing monsters ordinarily... Azure Dreams is a perfectly programmed game with nothing weird in it whatsoever. Don't know why you would think that. Also, I feel like getting them to, like, focus on you is maybe not the greatest idea, but it does allow for, like, stamina fruit usage. So fair enough. Ew, this is not a pleasant hallway that Poulet is on. Yeah, I would just leave it. There we go. There's the elevator. Time to head on up. Hex bombing to exhaustion point to advance side quest, and also I think Hex might have forgotten Cune. Floor 39. Oh, that's not at all what you want. Now, let's not use a spell ball on it now. Luckily, mixture magic does not count for whatever reason. Yeah, this is a slightly dicey state of affairs. Maybe check the sand for a white sand. This is an excellent use of a blinder ball. Also, I'll save for another commentary, I think. Yeah, we're reaching about the point where Hex can no longer completely rely on the power of block defense, which is a little bit of a shame. But kids are spooky. This is an unpleasant room. A room I don't think... No, Kuhn cannot be in this room. I'm not sure you can. Leather Shield doing the work. Also, Ko can just pick Cheryl up one-handedly. He picks up a pot or any other thing he needs to physically carry. Just full over-the-head lift. Very impressive. Oh, it's Leather Shield doing the work. Okay, some very good maneuvering to avoid getting hit by that dragon and get to the elevator. Floor 41. This is both at its most difficult and tentative state, but surprisingly enough, still roughly possible if Poulet takes very little chances. A Mana Weaver ring. That's a changeling ring I would not want to see. Oh look, one block fused monster, admittedly fused with a block because it is a block, and another. Yeah, this could be a photo finish, surprisingly. Poulet does still, though, need a floor a minute to win, and that is so scary and so tentative. It is just frightful. And one wrong step will be the end of it. I think curry percent is a different question entirely. Here. And that question is, curry? HexTree is re-entering just for the fun and for the fun of curry percent specifically. 64 was the highest floor. It's 65 then to beat that highest floor. And that is what Poulet will need to do. Good climbing alone probably cannot do this. But good climbing and just a little bit of luck. Oh no! Oh no! That could have been so bad. That could have been the ball game, folks. This also is not great. But less bad. I'd probably move a bit further away, but it looks like Poulet is realizing that he does not have time to fight these guys. He does not have time to fight. Now the question is, how to get around this predicament without just getting your face beaten in. That works. You can get around anything without getting your face beaten in if you only mid. That could be very, not ideal, but could be useful. Sadly, I think this is one of those situations where something's going to have to fight, but this is slowing Poulet down in not the ideal sort of way. Floor 45. That's 20 floors to go. That is a go up trap. You get on that go up trap, Poulet. You need that. Elevator trains will help, yeah. Luck is something Poulet needs to be on his side here. If it goes with him, he can still turn this around. But every delay must feel like a scream. This elevator is not wanting to play nice. That's clear enough. Yeah, wind enemies do help. Elevator trains do help. If he can find the elevator. Okay. So many gold coins. So little time. The true slow trap. Okay. So let us see how... And this will end up playing out. At the very least, he hasn't found anything he cannot fight yet, which is good in the sense that, like, he has resources to burn for when he can. But also, man, these elevators are not playing nice. That is a barong, and if he stops for the casino, that would not be good. Yeah. Good for Poulet realizing there's a time and a place. And the time is not... Yeah. The time is not here and now. If anyone can do it, I think Poulet could. But like, oh, come on. Yeah. Well, it's a good time to find that out. Looks like he is just going to have to, like... Oh no, that's not what he wanted to do. I would just pick it up and then put it down behind you, Poulet. Block off the hallway and keep walking. No, no, no. This is not what you have time for. The call of Barong casinos is just too strong, and I think... Okay, now walk away. There we go. Yeah, come play with me. It'll only take a second. In this case, he was aiming for, oh, Barong egg. That would be... Oh, this is bad. This is unfortunate. Now... Oh, that is also unfortunate. I'm sorry. Poulet, that sucks. Fight yourself a hole in the wall and go. Just leg it. Yes, the casino dream. Oh, warp trap, that's less than ideal. Particularly as it puts him physically back into place. And also, into the path of all of the monsters freed up by the Holy Bell. That's not what you want. Yeah, I'd say that's fair. That's what you gotta do. Yeah, that looks like it connects, and so can act as a bit of a shortcut to, like, new space. HexTree finding a go-up trap, which I'm sure Poulet must want right about now. I think, sadly, that this probably kills the hope. Maybe not. Maybe good luck will happen. But, like... Oh! Hey! What the hell? Yeah, I'm with Poulet here. That's just not fair. And I think that's about options. This is not okay. This is not fair. Tower says no, and there's nothing Poulet can say to that. That's just so mean. It's Vegas week. Oh, I'm sorry, Poulet. I'm sorry. That was so mean. Okay, I'm going to tell the results and, like, say it's time for interviews. Okay, I will be hopefully getting them in for interviews in just a second. I will be right back. Okay, and I'm back.
Hello, Demi.
Hello. Goodness.
What an ending, huh?
Yeah, that was an ending. That was so mean. The tower just looked at you and said, "Wow, you're trying very hard and doing very well at making what would have otherwise been a theoretically impossible climb. How about we put a stop to that right now?"
Yeah, okay, you die now. No, I don't want to have a holy bell. Alright? Next floor. How about you die now?
Hello.
How much escalation
Hey.
can you stand?
Was
So
that-
what was the final score?
65.
Alright, I think
Well,
I
it would
made
have
it
taken
to 60.
64, 65 to beat.
Alright.
And like, I will tell you now, HexTree, there was a moment where it looked very possible. Not easy, but possible. And then Poulet hit like 2 back-to-back monster dens.
Yeah. Crazy. And I was really hoping very hard on those 3 hot fruits, that maybe one of them would be a roche fruit.
So it was your second entry? Or?
Yes, second entry.
Okay.
I was on floor 40 something of second entry.
Third entry, actually.
Yeah, third technically, because I started the run and then had to use wind on like floor 2 because I messed up. And then I pretended this was my first entry.
Yeah, so I think I got very lucky with the barong at the start.
Yeah, I think you got a Scarlet Wand out of that, and I think that made the difference in terms of fighting those early mules. That was kind of it.
Surely, yeah. Alright.
Yeah. In terms of like, this became fightable in a way it wasn't for Poulet, so Poulet had to nope out.
Yeah, and I think on my first entry, first real entry, I died on floor 60 to a very mean elevation trap. I was in a 3x3 room which I could not escape, and there was a U-boat and a Batnel, I think.
Yeah,
So,
and something else.
Yeah, and my despair and my tears, all of it in 3x3.
One thing that we spent a lot of time thinking about in chat, Poulet, is did you remember the block fusion in like your first real climb?
Yeah.
Because we noticed like you had a water crystal and you had about 40 defense you could have had on Kuhn.
Yeah, I completely forgot about the water crystal. Yeah.
Okay, we were wondering.
No, this part I completely forgot about. And I ended up dying with my water crystal, so yeah.
We also, Wugga has a question for Hex. Why not use the roche fruit on an arachne when you were familiarless? Were you dreaming of encountering a Garuda?
Yeah, it was very tempting. But yeah, I just wanted Garuda or nothing really.
Fair, I think.
Yeah, not unreasonable. Well, you played around with a killer for a little while, and it did get you out of a couple of spots. But
yeah, I've never tried using a killer before, yeah, so that's something I need to learn.
I guess it's pretty cool for AI 1 strats.
Like
technical tips.
ideal, while it does at least have like its ability to kill, would say probably not the most ideal monster, though. Like it's done work before and can do work again. But like, whew, there was a lot going on in these seeds, or in this seed.
I was unsure whether I would keep going with my last run, and I thought, what the heck, let's just try and see if we can make the impossible happen.
Yeah.
I didn't know how far I would have to go, but yeah, kept going anyway.
I, for one, applaud and admire that, and like, there were points, and I would say that up until about the end of that run, you were mostly on pace for that being achievable, just did not end up playing out. And the tower just decided, yeah, you've done enough.
I mean, I was on a 1 floor per minute pace average, kind of. So if it's 65, it would have been doable were it not for the 2 consecutive monster dens. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen 2 monster dens in a row. I don't know what
No.
likeliness is.
That's...
Like on the same floor?
No, on
no.
2 consecutive floors.
Okay.
It was my 3rd monster den in the same tower.
And I think, and HexTree also saw one during a curry percent run he started up.
No, I think it was in my actual run. I remember lots of trolls and balloons in there.
There was a point where you had a monster den at about the same time. And they were different monster dens and different qualities of monster den, and that was striking.
I mean, at some point, regardless of the quality of the monster den, if you're on floor 40 plus, you're pretty doomed, I think.
I mean, 40 plus is a different quality of monster den all by itself.
Yeah.
Let me think if there's anything else in particular. No, I don't think so. I think that about covers it.
Yeah, that was fun.
Cool.
It was some fantastic running, some really solid climbing, and for most of the middle of the race, basically up until Poulet ended up taking a dive just shy of the 2-minute mark. That was a very close race. You were both at about the same floor at about the same time. Poulet was a little in the lead, but not a lot. And that was very cool to watch because a lot of these races have had big floor gaps.
Yeah, must be cool. Indeed.
Yeah.
You
anyway,
basically wait for anyone to walk on a trap, but yeah.
I would like to give a thank you to both of you for a game well played. I would like to, of course, thank the folks at SpeedGaming. I would like to thank myself.
Yeah, thank you for commenting.
Thank you very much, yes.
And be sure to check out our Discord for more Azure Dreams. I think that about wraps it up. There will be another match tomorrow. I won't be there for that one, but I hope it goes very entertainingly. And goodbye, everybody.
Have a good evening.
Yep, thank you very much. Bye.